You met a woman, a married woman, meaning she was a divorcee. But with this woman, you genuinely help her financially. Honestly, you truly bring a significant amount to her life, but she's deeply hurt.
Exactly. So
That means her previous relationship destroyed her. So it ends up being you who pays for all the broken pieces. You're the one who takes on all the damage. You pay for all the broken pieces. And you make her understand that it's not your fault. If things didn't work out with her husband, if it was a very toxic marriage, it's not your fault. It's not up to you to pick up the pieces, but it goes on. And she's a woman you love a lot. You really want something serious with her. You even see a future with her. But this side of things makes you question a bit. It makes you hesitate because you wonder, does she really love you? Isn't this just a waste of time? Should you end the relationship so you don't waste your time on this? Is that it? Is that it? Is that it? Is that it? So you want to know what you should do in this situation, right? So can you give me an example of her behavior that affects you on every level? Can I have one or two examples?
yes, of course. So you should know that from her first marriage, she had children. And the very first example I can give is that, like her first husband, actually, from what she told me, he was someone who had a certain spiritual influence, a negative one. And so sometimes when I was with her and one of her children wasn't feeling well, she would transfer the child's pain onto me, in the sense that if the child wasn't feeling well, maybe it was because my energy didn't align with the child's. Whereas honestly, I didn't understand any of what that actually meant concretely, factually, because I know that a child, they can be moody, maybe they're sick, maybe they're uncomfortable, maybe they're just not feeling well. There are so many factors that can explain why things aren't going right. It's not necessarily because I'm there that they're not okay. So there are little examples like that. Other examples, for instance, she might have a nightmare and think that I'm the one behind the nightmare she had. It's really unbelievable. When you get accusations like that over and over, it's tough. The last example. We started a business together in France, where we live. We started the business together, and because of my background and skills, I took the lead of the company. That means I put my heart, soul, and mind into it, and I set up an entire strategy for growth, development, and everything that goes along with it. The problem I encountered afterwards was that, because I put strategies in place for us to grow faster and more quickly, she thought I wanted to take 100% control of the company. And she blamed me for it, to the point of completely ending our collaboration and deciding that it would no longer continue. So there are examples like this. I can't list them all.
They are just as good as the others. Already, these 2 or 3 examples are enough for me. That's more than enough for me. Okay, so what is it?
My question is, based on all these things I've told you, what attitude do you think I should adopt? If today you had a friend, a little brother who came to you and told you this, what would you say to him? Factually, okay.
So, to tell you the complete and honest truth, it's important to understand that not all divorced women, even those who openly say they've been a bit traumatized by the profound and often challenging experience of their marital dissolution, truly mean it in the same way. Their previous relationships are really victims, are only victims. There are women who are themselves toxic, and so they get divorced because they are toxic. And since you don't have both sides of the story, of course, when she explains in her own favor. But how, as a man, can you know if this woman was the toxic one in her previous marriage? It's through her behavior. And this woman, from what you've told me, she's very toxic. She's actually a woman who doesn't love anyone. She only loves herself. Even me, that's what I say. I read the PVNs too. Narcissism isn't just found in men, it's also found in women. There are women who are narcissistic abusers. There are women who are manipulative. And since in general, it's men we see, when it comes to women, people tend to immediately take her side, listen to her, and feel a bit of compassion for her. When you start to look into the details, it's actually that very woman who may have been toxic in the relationship. This woman doesn't love you. She never loved you. And in fact, this woman has a personal issue with men. So it's not about you. That means even if tomorrow you're no longer with her, the next man who comes into her life will also suffer. She has an emotional problem, and it might be due to her childhood. It's not because of her marriage or her previous marriage. It's because of her childhood. She has a personal issue, and unless she resolves it with a psychologist or a therapist, she'll never have a husband. That means men will come into her life because she's a very beautiful woman, she's attractive, but she'll never be able to keep them. They will always leave. Even if they come with good intentions, she'll make them toxic, she'll make them bitter. And so those men will leave. And that's exactly your situation. You have a very beautiful energy. You're a good man. You deserve a good woman. You deserve a woman who has positive energy. That woman, she has negative energy. And the negative energy she has even affects her children. And so when something happens to her children, she inevitably wants to find someone to blame, even though the real culprit is herself. Because that's the foundation. It's all about upbringing. So you're not going to stay in that negative energy. You who were well brought up, you, a man with very strong willpower, a good man, a man who needs a woman with beautiful energy, a man who needs a woman to help him rise. That woman is not going to help you rise. She's a wounded lioness. She's a war casualty. She has too much. She's full of rage, actually. So what I would advise you is to leave that relationship.